The New Testament was written 300 years after Jesus died. There are 400,000 textual variations of the Bible. None of the authors, and I mean none of the authors of the New Testament met Jesus. History tells us that the church changed the Bible. The Trinity, which is the most important part in the Christian religion, guess what? Never ever mentioned in the New Testament. You cannot prove me wrong. There is no way.
Number one, the first book of the New Testament written, 1 Thessalonians, was written about 20 years after Jesus Christ's death. Every book of the New Testament was written in the first century, unlike, of course, the Quran, which was written like 600 years later. Two, this whole thing about, having over 400,000 different variants it makes it that much easier to compare and reconstruct the original message like they do with any ancient book. It's called textual criticism. 99% of these variants are all consistent with each other. Of course, outside of the, minor spelling mistakes and the, small omission of words, natural stuff expected to happen. We have to hand copy a document thousands of times in, several different languages, 3, Matthew, John, Peter, James, and Jude all met Jesus. Paul met the risen Jesus. Not only but he knew tons of eyewitnesses of Jesus Christ. The remaining authors got their accounts straight from the eyewitnesses. Like Mark was a disciple of Peter and also his scribe. Luke was a friend and companion of Paul, and he also interviewed the eyewitnesses directly. Of course, unlike, Muhammad, who was born like 600 years too late to ever meet Jesus, or any of the eyewitnesses, or even any of the eyewitnesses of the eyewitnesses. 4, there's literally nowhere in history, no piece of historical evidence that shows that the Bible has been changed, since we have like tons of early century documents that are the same that we have in our Bible today. 5, Matthew 28:19, John 1:1, Hebrews 1:8, the list goes on and on and on. If we're talking about the word was ascribed to the concept in the 2nd century. Now, I'm pretty sure that if the word murder was never created, the concept of killing someone would still be just as true without the word as it is with the word. 6, I really, really, really hope that this was just a rage bait to get interactions to, boost his channel. Because if he was actually serious with this stuff, I never thought I'd hear these words coming out of my mouth. But we owe Lily J an apology.